Look at my shirt. It's like I blend into the wall. I've never wore a mustard colored shirt in my life.
Ah,
But it has a motorcycle on
we're
it.
going to call you Colonel Mustard.
Colonel. But it's got a motorcycle on it, so I figured it was okay.
It is okay.
Yeah.
And it
what color would you call it?
accentuates your tat.
Yeah, yeah. Would you call it a tan hide or what's that?
No,
tan
that's
skin?
no.
It's yellow.
I think it's mustard.
It's mustard.
Well, it's a little bit different on the monitor than it is here, but
Oh, yeah.
I would call this, almost like a spicy brown mustard.
Spicy fucking brown.
Yeah,
I like that.
spicy
All right.
brown.
That's so fun. Let's see. All right, let's do a countdown. Are you
Let's
ready?
do it. Yeah.
Only if you're ready.
That
Will
little
I
sign
proceed?
above the door says "Quiet on the set, on air."
You know what? Thank goodness we had no production issues. We didn't have to talk about this or that. Right? It was
Yeah.
pleasant. It was a lull. Let's sit down. Let's do this.
Yup.
It was refreshing.
It was refreshing.
Refreshing.
Yep.
Okay. All right, big guy. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the show that never ends. Remember that?
Emerson, Lake, and Palmer.
Lake and Palmer.
Wow.
We're so glad you could attend. Come inside. Come inside. This is Dr. John Gerard Galucci, and I'm the host of your favorite podcast, The Jersey Alchemist.
Yes, yes. And I'm Philip D'Angelo.
Yes.
And wow, you brought a lot of memories back.
Okay, everyone. All right.
Now sit down.
All right, that's it. There you go.
You brought a lot of memories back with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, ELP. Wow. Remember albums, John?
Yeah.
Remember going to the record store? Like, I think a couple times
Harmony Hut at the mall.
If we had nothing to do, we would go to Harmony Hut or wherever to check out the albums and what is,
Do you remember the business plans of those stores at the mall? Right. The business plans included, remember those two guys that were at that station in the center court of the Willowbrook Mall in Wayne, New Jersey, and they were glass blowers, and they constantly were making, they would make these tall ships with the mast and the sails all out of, blown glass. They were really, I don't know where they got those guys from. I think they were from Italy. And then they were making flowers. And remember Zum Zum, where they sold all like the German sausages and the hot dogs. And they had a girl out in front with the cut up hot dogs with the toothpicks. And Harmony Hut always had some guy playing the organ or the piano in the front of the store to draw people into the store. God forbid you walk by and didn't go in.
Remember Spencer Gifts? Was that it? Spencer Gifts?
Yeah. And there was some hot chicks that worked at Spencer Gifts. I think they hire those girls on purpose, and then they say, hey, your shirt's a little bit long. Come on, hike it up. And stupid idiots like me, I was, 14, 15. We used to take the bus to the mall, and I used to go buy Spencer Gifts, wow, the girls that work at the Spencer Gifts girls. Woo.
I met my ex-wife at the mall, Willowbrook Mall.
You did?
She worked at Spencer Gifts.
For real?
No, I'm only kidding.
No,
you were just talking about one of the girls. No, she worked at a clothing store.
It wasn't Just Shirts, was it?
No.
Remember Just Shirts on the corner? The girls in Just Shirts had me going like, they were like just too hot. Too hot to try.
Yeah, no, she worked in a clothing store. I walked in one day and, as they say, the rest is history.
Should we just go with this, or should we save,
what do you want to do?
Listen,
go with what? The mall?
I used to watch the bullfights with my grandfather on Channel 47.
Wow.
And
the Spanish station.
Yeah. And whenever they, couldn't kill the bull, and the bull basically had everybody overturned the picadors, the horse's legs went up in the air.
It's a violent,
jumped over. I used to love when the bull used to jump over the fence and end up in the crowd.
Don't fuck with a bull, Jim.
No, right. But sometimes they by the end of the moment, the bull was still head up, and this bull was too much of a force. And how did they get the bull out? Bring in the cows. Bring in the cows with little high heels and bikinis, and the cows would lead the bull back into the into the tunnel and out of the stadium, and isn't that, how is it any different than the Just Shirts girls or the girls at Spencer Gifts getting this idiot into the store.
Yeah, yeah.
No
I mean,
different.
listen, what do they say? Sex sells.
Sex and advertising.
Advertising
That's it.
sells. Yeah, they're not putting any fat people up there. You know what I'm saying? Or
You
people.
said,
Husky.
now we're going to
Husky.
get torpedoed. They're going to take the episode down
Yeah.
because you said the F word. That's worse. It's got 3 letters, and it's
Yeah.
worse than the 4-letter F word.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Husky, because I was called Husky my whole life. So they're not putting any Husky people up there. You know what I'm saying? It's always, you know, listen, why is Brad Pitt so successful? I mean, he's a guy, but the girls like looking at Brad Pitt, and guys like looking at girls. It's human nature. That's what we do.
I have to admit, I love looking at Jennifer Aniston, except that's kind of waned. I don't really give a flying fucking rat's ass about Jennifer Aniston. Why? Because I just have a fundamental souring over the parts that she takes, but I'm sure she has no say in the parts that she takes because, like Bob Dylan said, I sold my soul. Who, Bob? You know, to the big guy, Satan. So all of these Hollywood people and music industry people, right? I always say it, all this will be yours. All of the bells and whistles and accoutrements, everything. The shore house in Malibu, all of the money, the expensive cars, the Lamborghinis, the top restaurants, jetting all around in private jets, Epstein Island, and just worship Satan, and all of that will be yours. So that's why I can't even look at Jennifer Aniston anymore.
You know, when I was younger, John, talking about sex sells, I was trying to get a mortgage for a house. And you know, I was newly married, a young guy, and the mortgage agent came over, and she was drop dead gorgeous.
Yep.
And she wore a very provocative outfit. I mean, it was high heels, short skirt. I mean, it was unbelievable. Because she knew a loser like me would not worry about the high interest rates. And of course,
don't worry about these numbers. Don't worry about these numbers.
Yeah. Tickle my chin a little bit. Yeah. And I did sign that mortgage, a horrible mortgage.
Did.
My wife screamed at me, that was unprofessional. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, what are you talking about? It was my first mortgage.
Oh, boy,
And I learned a very good lesson.
They're bloodsuckers.
Oh yeah, once those numbers came in, and I
Right.
said, you know what, I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Well,
not a proud moment.
Well, you're talking about mortgage agents.
It was only for 30 years.
How about realtors in general, right? Now, you know something? People, I think, collectively, there's a breath holding out there. Is he really going to do this? Is he going to bring up the whole issue of realtors?
Wow.
Well, we thought, for years, for decades and decades, it was the used car salesmen, because they were usually men back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, now it could be anybody, but it's still usually men. Used car salespeople were just notorious for, selling you lemons when you were in there trying to buy not lemons, right?
Yeah.
But whenever I get a friend request on Facebook, because a lot of them come through, all I got to do is look at the mug in the picture. But first of all, if you don't have a profile picture, don't expect me to accept your friend request. If you can't put a picture up of yourself, stay off of Facebook. Like, what's the name? Oh, Facebook. Facebook. Yeah, right. So if you don't want the AI world and the NSA and all that crap and the CIA to have your face, you're living on the wrong planet right now. You got a driver's license, they've got your face, and they've got it barcoded and scanned and coded and all of that shit. But when I see that somebody's a realtor, whether it's a guy or a girl, and you don't know all the time, you just go, oh, you've got a friend request from Tony Baloney, and then you open up the profile before you accept or don't accept, and realtor with such and such agency. The reason why I just go boink, delete the realtors, it's because they're wasting space. I run that fine line of 5,000 Facebook friends because Mark Zuckerberg doesn't, and DARPA DARPA doesn't want you to have so much influence that now you've got 50,000 or 100,000 Facebook friends. No, 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 no. They're going to keep you down like the worm that you are, so says them, so you can't have more than 5,000 friends. A realtor or some guy that tries to friend request you and it's all about Bob's Auto Body, unless you personally know them as friends, don't accept their friend request, because it's just part of their business plan to, somebody said to them, grow your business by having a presence on Facebook. I'm not looking for a house. I'm not looking to sell a house. And if I was, I wouldn't pick somebody I don't know off of Facebook. And if you're gonna waste one of my 5,000 slots, go somewhere else. So that's what I think of friend requests from realtors on Facebook, unless, of course, I know them. And I have a bunch of realtors who are my friends on Facebook because I know them.
Interesting. How was your experience with realtors? I mean, you bought and sold houses. I mean, I've got some clunkers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we're going to go down that rabbit hole, but I've had some clunker realtors that just really do nothing for you. And
of course they
like anything else, when you have a great realtor, and there's a lot of great realtors out there, boy, I'll tell you, it's like, oh my God.
We had one guy who actually knew my father, and this was a big, physically imposing, strong male. Wow. And he showed, at the time, I was married, showed my wife and I a particular house on, I don't know when it was, a Saturday. The owners of the home weren't there. There was a lockbox on the front door. It was all on the up and up, it was MLS listed. And we walked through the house, and the people come home while he's showing us the house, and all of us got chewed out by the owner of the house. What the fuck are you doing in my house? It's like, are you not selling your house? Is that lockbox just, a figment of my imagination? The realtor got us in here. Make a long story short, the realtor, on the way out of there in the car, demanded that we make an offer. Who the fuck are you? What are you, what do you, he was so big I figured he was doing steroids, and maybe he had steroid brain, steroid rage. He got angry with us, and we were in his car, sitting in the back of his car, and he was driving, and I kind of looked at my wife, and she looked at me. It's like, well, we got to go home and think about this. And like, right away, we were turned off by the whole scene. The house was like, okay. I don't think it wasn't for us anyway, but that guy, that was a little extreme, was angry at us that we didn't right away come across with an offer. It's like, get the fuck out of here. What dope are you smoking? Oh my gosh. Oh, I got a lot of realtor stories. My God.
Sales, it's just sales in general. You mentioned car salesmen. I mean, unfortunately, there's a bad reputation with car salesmen as well. I remember one time we took this young kid, me and my wife were looking at a car. So the kid was really young and, in his early 20s. So he said, come on, we'll take it for a test drive. So my wife is driving, I'm in the passenger seat, and he's in the back. So I don't know, she didn't know where to go. The guy fell asleep like within 5 minutes. So we had this conversation. I guess, young kid, I guess he went out all night. He was out cold. He's snoring. I said, well, listen, let's open it up, see what it can do. Yeah, we gave that car a ride, all right. Needless to say, we didn't buy it. So, yeah.
He fell asleep.
In 2 seconds, he was asleep.
He's supposed to tell you, that particular dealership's route, right? They all have a route. Hey, make a left up here, go up here, go up top, come around. Okay.
We were driving around for like a good 30 minutes. Said, all right, let's go back. Let's find our way back. And we woke him up, and he said, all right, we're not interested.
Funny.
I don't even know if he got out of the car,
I don't have too many, well, I shouldn't say that, all right. I don't have too many run-ins with, or crazy stories with the sales department in automobile dealerships, other than the one that I'm well known in. I think I've made reference to this a few episodes back. They told me they ordered me a Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. And because I was part of that dealership, come on, 5 vehicles from them, one after the next, and some in tandem, right? Like I said, the managers had my cell phone number, and we used to text and call each other. I was kind of, I don't know how many people could have 5 vehicles and more than one at the same time. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but, you know, I walk in and everybody rushes over to me because they know me and we have a good relationship. But these son of a guns, they really screwed the pooch because they ordered me the wrong car. And I think they did it on purpose, relying on the fact that I wouldn't know any better, but I did know better. But guess what I did? I just went with it because I felt like I had to cut my monthly expenses, and the new car was going to be like $300 a month less than the car I was turning in.
Oh, wow.
And I just went with it. But it's still stuck in my craw, and it's okay. It's okay. One day, that's all going to turn around. That's how I see it. I'm not mad at them. I could have stopped that deal immediately. I didn't, so it's kind of on me. Let the buyer beware, so to speak. Let the leaser beware.
Yeah, sales are a big thing. I happen to do sales for a living. I like to call it business and corporate development. But sales are very important, and going back to sex sells, I mean, I try to land a big customer with multiple locations. It was going to be a big deal, and I didn't get it, and in walked my competition, and it was a beautiful woman, and I'm like, wow, okay, I get it. And that guy fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, and you know.
So then that night you went out and bought a few bikinis.
No.
A couple of short skirts.
No.
Figured, you know, you got to turn yourself into Klinger.
Klinger, yeah. No, I'd be a bad Klinger.
Yeah,
But,
you would.
Yeah, but it's amazing the art of the sale, and you know, some people don't care about what kind of service you're going to give, what product, the right vehicle. It doesn't matter, you know. They just get
Can
lost
I tell
in the
a quick
sauce.
realtor story?
Well, it doesn't have to be quick.
Well, I don't know if I already did, but you know what? It's still worth it.
Let it fly.
Some of the things that people will concoct in their heads, and realtors are at the top of the heap, are just, it's audacious. So my wife at the time, her and I were going around, another realtor story, and there was a woman who showed us a house in the town that we eventually bought in. It's the town that we still live in, but she's in one house, I'm in the other. And going through the whole house, and we end up in the, hey, let me see the basement. She didn't want me to go in the basement. What do you think, I'm fucking stupid? I know I look stupid, but you know what? I'm not that stupid. So let's see the basement. We go down into the basement, and the long access to the basement must have been, it had to be like 50 feet. And
Wow.
from one base of the foundation, straight down the long axis of the basement, all along the concrete floor, was a flowing stream.
What?
A flowing stream. And it was, I would say it was about a half-inch deep. It even had ripples in it. Now, okay, I admit that there were torrential rainfall over the last several days before we got there, but you know, so there was a river going from one end of this basement to the next, and it clearly wasn't a one-shot deal because the concrete was stained with kind of like an algae green on it. And I'm like, I'll be damned. So I go to the realtor. I guess I asked a stupid question, because there should have been no discussion once that was seen. It should have been, okay, thank you, but no thanks. You know, we forgot to put on the do list and the don't list, no fucking running rivers in the basement, okay?
Yeah.
So I said, how often does this happen? That's a stupid question, but I was kind of thinking out loud. Well, you ask a stupid question, you get a fucking wise guy's answer. And she gave it her best, and she meant this from her soul. She says, oh, she goes, oh, this is such a plus. She goes, just think of this. She goes, didn't you say that you loved plants, that you have a lot of house plants? I says, yeah,
That's
I do.
where she
What?
went with that.
She goes, well, if you put the pots down here, she goes, you never have to water your plants. And she meant it. And I looked at my wife. My wife went, and I was like behind the realtor's back. And I'm like, okay, I guess we've seen enough. Listen, hey, thanks. Thanks. Well, let's come back at this, next week, and we'll try another list of houses. But think about that. There's a running water going from one end of the basement to the next, and she says, this is such a plus. Think of it. You'll never have to water your plants again. Holy shit.
John, you got to give her kudos for coming up with that. I mean, that was
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
on the spot like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with a
Oh,
straight
yes.
face.
Yep. I think she probably receives the awards at, the Realtors Association Awards dinners, for the greatest bullshit lines.
Yeah. I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, you see good and bad. But sales is so important because you're putting your trust, and we did an episode on trust. You're putting your trust into somebody. Like, you want them to tell you, like, yeah, this car's not a lemon. It's a great car. There's no stream downstairs in the basement. That's your imagination. You want them to, bring you. And sometimes you look in the mirror like, do I look, like you said, like, do I sound or look like I won't pick up on the stream or
Well,
it's amazing.
Listen,
it's almost insulting.
It's very insulting,
Yeah.
but ultimately, and we're not ready to alchemize this, but people in this world, in the third dimension, right, where everything is based on fear and debauchery, the fear of going hungry, the fear of losing the roof over your head, FOMO, the fear of missing out, all of that bullshit, right? People are inclined to take the low road just to keep the lifeblood of the third dimension coming. And what is the lifeblood of the third dimension? It's money. It's money. That's why the prince of this world is not God, it's not Buddha, it's not Jesus Christ, it's not Allah, it's not the prophet Muhammad, it's Satan, it's Lucifer, it's Moilach, right? It's all of the dark entities that rule this world. Hopefully we're at the end of that era, that age, and God's river of love and light, God's river of love and light will prevail. And then used car salesmen won't have to sell you a piece of shit and lie to you that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Realtors won't give you a fucking bullshit job like, oh, you'll never have to water your plants again. This is wonderful. Wow, it's just made to order. You're a lucky guy.
You're a lucky guy. What a lucky couple. You get to live here.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so. So what do we do, John? I mean, people like that really don't last long. I mean, but it's like,
I don't know. You think so?
I think, yeah, because when it comes to sales, you have to back up what you say. You can fool people one time, twice maybe, but after that, you have to really back up what you're saying. I mean, and you're going to get a reputation, especially now online. Everybody online is going to give you, 3 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down, bad reviews. So you can't really, get away with that stuff.
You know what I can't stand? Those advertising video clips. I don't know what venue they're on, Instagram, Facebook, this, that. I've never seen them on Rumble, but it's, you're scrolling through, the house is quiet, and bam, all of a sudden you're blown off your fucking chair by loud music that's supposed to attract you. It repulses me, and it's some guy that says, here's what you need. This is what you need. It's like, are we going back to the 1940s, with most doctors smoke Lucky Strike? Are we going back to that? Are we going back to advertising in a newspaper feminine deodorants? And we're not talking about underarm. We're talking about down here. Oh, is that what we're doing? Because those ads are on the internet and they're just astounding. They're astounding. Is that what we're going back to? Trying to convince people that we need a fucking knife sharpener? Really? That we need some kind of wireless cell phone fucking free charger? I mean, give me a break.
Well, John, everything.
You need a meat cleaver. You need a meat cleaver that'll cut your steak, you know, to a 0.5 millimeter tolerance. I really do need that. Oh, honey, go get the checkbook, please. Where's my credit card? I need that meat cleaver. What the fuck?
There's a book out there, Sold or Be Sold. I mean, everything is marketing, John. Everything is a sale. Everything is a marketing. Like you said, the meat cleaver. But there's people that sit at home and say, you know what?
Seen that one,
How about
right?
the guy that for years we saw the tomato slicer? And you know what? I've never sliced a tomato
or the
like
salad shooter.
that. The salad shooter. Yeah. Kinnikori apple. I mean,
Well, the best one I love is the air gun that shoots salt, so you can sit there and kill flies at a picnic.
that's
You
impressive.
know, Grandpa's got a hamburger. It's just about to go in his mouth. There's a fly on it. Paw!
That one I haven't seen. But that sounds interesting.
Oh,
I might
yes.
buy something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's out there. Yeah.
So it's the art of the sale. And you know what? If you see those videos, I mean, and you have a good-looking girl or a good-looking guy, it's going to get your attention, and then bam, that's what it hits you.
Yeah.
Either with a catchy tune, loud volume, some stupid question to pique your interest. Have you ever done this before?
Yeah.
And, you know,
Well, you know what I just don't get. You know, we're in an era, we're an age where there's virtue signaling. We're in cancel culture.
Oh,
you know, feminists want to hang anybody that's not on the cutting edge. You know, they were really quick to gang up on Tulsi Gabbard, right? And they somehow or another seem to adopt Kamala Harris, even though she's nothing but, speaking of salad shooters, Kamala Harris is nothing but a salad chef. We've mentioned this before because she's the queen of making word salads. You know, it's ridiculous, but you know, I just don't understand these gals on these video shorts on TikTok and Facebook, where they're there selling their sex. It's you know, they're doing some stupid. I think there was some teenager that did some bullshit dance to some popular tune, and apparently it went so viral that the girl made millions of dollars. Now I don't know. You know, I've heard that even from my daughters, so I figure it's got to be true because they're kind of all over this stuff. But how many girls do you see? You know, they're in a threshold by their bedroom, and they're wearing their blue jeans, and their arm is up on the door, and the lights of the house are on. And then all of a sudden, boom, the lights go off, and there's nothing but red lights with a smoke machine. And they're naked, but they're a silhouette on a red background, and they're gyrating, and it's like, wait a minute, where are the feminists now? What the fuck? What are you selling? Who are you? What are you? Why don't you go out and do something good for humanity instead of that?
Apparently, John, and I have studied this. Like
Oh, Phil, I'm just so fed up with it.
I have studied this with women's, you know, in provocative poses. I mean, just to find out, like, what are they really about? You know, totally
Is this a
professional.
homegrown study?
Yeah. And they have their separate pages where I don't know what they do. But they just said on the radio today that Charlie Sheen's daughter is on one of these pages where I guess you post provocative and people either buy pictures. I don't know what they do on there. I've never been on one.
Right.
But Charlie Sheen's daughter. I mean,
Well,
and he's blaming his ex-wife, Denise Richards.
Well, I guess all you really have to do is look at the mentors
Yes.
of what drives young people to make it in a fear-based, money-driven world. And who is the superstar that really hasn't done anything for the world other than allow the leaking of her sex tape, her Kabasi swallowing sex tapes? But was that gal with the black hair married to Who's the guy that wants to be the president?
Oh, yeah. You're talking to, come on, we're
I
60
know,
plus years old.
I know that.
No,
yeah, Kanye West.
Kanye,
It's,
yes. I
what's
was going
her
to say
face?
Conway.
It's,
Conway. It's Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Right. Isn't that how she got famous? And isn't that how Paris Hilton got famous? They said, oh, my ex-boyfriend, he put my sex tape on the internet. Oh.
They broke into my house and they stole it.
Yeah, they stole it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, babe. Now you're famous and you're making millions of dollars, and that's how you basically did it. That's how you roll. To the youngins out there again, don't watch that shit. Don't aspire to be that crap. The world is about much more than that shit. Kim Kardashian, how dare you? I haven't Greta Thornbushed anybody in a while.
It's been a while.
Right? How dare you? So that's it. I just,
Like we said, John, sex sells.
Maybe you want to alchemize this up.
Me? Well, listen. All I would say I would never alchemize. That's what you do.
All right.
My opinion is, just like you're always saying, John, just stay on the right path. Look past the person. Don't sign a mortgage for 30 years because somebody's attractive like I did. And just look past the person. I mean, don't fall into that trap because there's many traps in life. And like we said, sex sells, and that's just one of the traps is sex. And if you can look past that and keep your head.
Quick story, right along what you're saying.
Doesn't have to be quick.
Right? Because me, I'll forget it. When I was looking to buy the house that I live in, this is 11 years ago, I asked a friend of mine who was a professional if he had any realtors mortgage agents that he trusted. Gives me the name of this gal that he said I went to college with her. Well, he didn't tell me that he was. He didn't tell me that he was, that's what the relationship was. Right. So he was just trying to drum up business, and who knows? Maybe the guy was still dipping his wick, or smuggling his bone in her suitcase. I have no idea. But I meet her at a diner. And immediately, she's a sexy chick, and she's coming on to me immediately. And believe me, it's not hard to figure that out when someone's coming on to you. And all of a sudden, she comes up with some pretty damn good terms. And I only had to put 20% down. Okay, and here's the percentage. The percentage was like 3.4%. Oh, well, okay, well, hey, I guess we're going to be doing business. Finished our dinner and gave her the old fist bump, and she says, let's meet again in about 4 days, and I'll have the paperwork, and we'll write it up, and we'll just drive this deal home. Okay. I meet her at the same diner, and she's fast talking me now, and she's no longer looking into my eyes. She's no longer gazing into my eyes with her. No, she's not doing that anymore. Now she's all business. And she puts in front of me 30% down. And I said, whoa, wait a minute now, girlie. Whoa, Nelly. What happened to 20%? Where did that go? Oh, well, did I say 20%? Oh, yeah, well, no, this is for 30%. No. I looked at her, I said, I literally said, are you fucking serious? Wow. He says, okay. I says, tell you what. I says, I'm getting up and I'm walking out of here unless you put this deal through that we kind of verbally agreed on 4 days ago. Yeah, I'm sorry. I says, yeah, okay, fine. Got up and I walked the fuck out. Yeah, and I went through another bank.
Wow.
You little.
Good move.
You little.
Don't say it.
Scum sucker.
Yes.
You little lying bitch that used your sexuality to try to woo me. What? Fuck you.
Yeah. And the horse you rode in on.
Is that too harsh?
No. Try to take advantage of you.
I'm not perfect. I make no false pretenses that, I never said I was a saint. Ha. No. I'm the Jersey Alchemist.
Okay. Yeah. John, great episode. I I like that.
We didn't alchemize it, but okay. Well, all right. How do we alchemize this?
Go ahead. Shed some light.
Let the buyer beware, people.
Yes.
We live in a world. We live in a dimension where nothing is more important to people, unfortunately, than amassing as much of the lifeblood of the system as possible. And for most of us, that's money. For the really ugly, evil scum suckers that are out there, it's money, and it is literally the blood of other people. Ooh, but if we say what that is, we'll get torpedoed because it's over the fucking target. So, if you think, just be careful. Don't be taken advantage of. Don't let sex sell you anything. Nothing. Not even a spouse. I saw a video short. A lot of the video shorts are great. Some girl was kind of, pouring her heart out. Says, you should be marrying your best friend, not just somebody that you think is a really good lover, not somebody that is well-heeled and has millions of dollars, right? Marry your best friend. And if you just use that dictum, don't be shanghaied. Don't be coerced. Don't be fooled. Don't let your better senses and your better judgment be co-opted by any other issue. So if you're looking for a realtor, find out, use your gut, use that extra sense that you have. Who's not trying to hoodwink me? Who's straightforward? Who's professional? That kind of thing. And, just do the best you can in life. That's the only way to alchemize this. Just don't be hoodwinked, because most of the world is out there poised to hoodwink you. They're either praying mantis or trapdoor spiders, and don't get caught in the web. Period.
Amen, brother. Great job as usual. Great alchemization. If you like what we're doing, people, please press like and
subscribe. Even Bones is subscribed, and he's a cast member.
For the love of Pete. Thank you for watching the Jersey Alchemist. Till next time, peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, love.